Headless e-commerce platforms are characterized by the absence of a front-end user experience, or a head. So you can think of a head in terms of any kind of user interface or experience that you find in software. A vending machine can be the head, a desktop browser application can be the head, or your Apple Watch can be the head.
Right, and so the benefit of this type of platform comes in the flexibility and the scalability and the ability to customize elegantly the exact type of experience that you want.
Right. But as the term headless starts to buzz and enterprises and e-commerce vendors alike start to see the value of and importance of adding headless e-commerce technology to their tech stacks, we're seeing a sort of spectrum of headless arise. And that spectrum is really based on the types of APIs the vendors are creating.
Okay, so let's start by making sure that people are really clear on what an API is.
Sure. So let's describe it this way. An API stands for Application Programming Interface. It's basically a set of programming code that enables software programs to exchange data and in some cases consume functionality from one another. APIs serve numerous purposes. Generally, they simplify and speed up software development because developers can add functionality, for example, tax, shipping, or payment processing, from other providers to existing solutions, or they can even build new applications using services from third-party providers.
Okay, but not all APIs are created equally. So when it comes to headless e-commerce platforms that are powered by APIs, significant confusion's been created as enterprises start to look at adding headless e-commerce technology to their tech stacks.
That's true. A lot of that arises in the difference between traditional APIs and these newer API-first platforms, so let's talk about that difference. Traditional APIs are built around existing applications, primarily to exchange data with other third-party integrations. These types of APIs typically offer less customization flexibility because the API is restricted by the underlying platform core. In other words, the API doesn't allow access to the entire functionality of the underlying platform, which limits the customization opportunities.
Okay, so what would be an example?
Well, I think the most common examples are really legacy software applications that exist everywhere today that were built to perform a function, like let's say an e-commerce site. As those applications needed to add functionality and provide ways to exchange data, APIs were added to those applications to enable that exchange.
Got it. And that, of course, is different from a true headless API-first platform.
Yeah, an API-first platform means that the entire platform has been designed from the ground up to be consumed via APIs. This leads to a much larger customization opportunity because you have access to all the functionality of the back-end code to create any kind of front-end application experience you want. It's with these API-first platforms that you get a pure headless experience because you really can create and customize the entire user interface and the user experience from the ground up.
Okay, so when we talk about this spectrum of headless solutions, it really starts with APIs.
Yeah, on one end of the spectrum you have APIs that have been added to a platform, like a legacy or traditional platform, but they only enable front ends with a restricted functionality. On the other end of the spectrum, you have true API-first platforms that are also called headless, but they enable unrestricted front-end customization.
Okay, so even though some platforms call themselves headless, you really have to understand the API in order to understand what your business needs from a customization standpoint.
Right, that's true. So the degree of customization you need should help you decide as a business which type of API you want to pursue. You can get customization with both types, but you should also weigh the amount of work it's going to take to get the customization you need. We usually find out that using a platform that's closer to the API first end of the spectrum results in faster project completion, less cost, and a more desirable, elegant outcome.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Rich. Hopefully this will help people understand what to look for in the category of headless APIs and what that can mean in developing a custom user experience for your commerce solution.